Dear students, I am Dr. Timmegowda in Department of Chemistry, Government Sri Krishna Rajendra Silver Jubilee Technological Institute, KR Circle, Bangalore. In this video, I am going to start BTU Engineering Chemistry Theory Module 2, that is corrosion and metal finishing. Let's go through the syllabus for Module 2, which includes Introduction to Corrosion, Electrochemical Theory of Corrosion, factors affecting the rate of corrosion, such as anodic to cathodic areas, nature of corrosion product, nature of medium, such as pH, conductivity, and temperature, types of corrosion, in which differential metal and differential aeration, pitting, and waterline corrosions, which are example for differential aeration corrosion. Corrosion control, which includes anodizing, with an example, anodizing of aluminum. Cathodic protection method, such as example, sacrificial anode and impressed current methods. Metal coatings, with example, galvanization. The other part of the module, metal finishing, introduction to metal finishing, technological importance of metal finishing, electroplating, in which introduction to electroplating, principles governing electroplating such as polarization, decomposition potential, and over voltage, electroplating of chromium. It includes both hard and decorative chromium. Electroless plating, in which introduction to electroless plating, electroless plating of nickel and copper, difference between electroplating and electroless plating process. This is about the syllabus for module 2, that is corrosion and metal finishing. The session 1 of module 2, which includes introduction to corrosion, wet corrosion, dry corrosion, electrochemical theory of corrosion, by taking iron as an example. So if we look at this picture, which consists of 3 different cases here. In first case, the iron nail immersed in water taken in a test tube, and the test tube, it is in contact with air. In second case, the iron nail which are immersed in boiled distilled water. So it is to remove dissolved oxygen. Here there is no air or oxygen, and the water is covered with a layer of oil. It is to prevent the contact between water and air. And air is above the oil layer, but it is not in contact with the metal. In third case, the test tube not containing water, and they have used anhydrous calcium chloride, which will absorb any moisture if present in the surrounding environment. Hence, there is no moisture in contact with the metal, but the metal is in contact with air. And if we look at these nails status after some time, the nails which are present in water, and also it is in contact with the air, which undergo corrosion. It gets corroded, but not in other 2 cases. That clearly indicates the moisture and oxygen or air are main constituents which are responsible for wet corrosion of metals. The word corrosion which is derived from the Latin word corrodere. The meaning of it is cut into pieces. Corrosion occurs with all metals except the least reactive noble metals, as you know, such as gold and platinum. Examples for corrosion are, we can consider rusting of iron. It is an example for corrosion. You can see here the pure iron when exposed to atmosphere which contains air and moisture. So after some time, it will form a brown layer on the surface. So what is that? A reddish brown scale formation on iron and steel objects when iron is exposed to air and moisture. That is due to the formation of hydrated ferric oxide. So it is the composition or formula for hematite ore. So that means when iron exposed to oxygen and moisture, it is went back to the ore form, that is hydrated ferric oxide or hematite. Let's go through another example for corrosion. That is, you can see here, there is a green scale for over the surface of copper. What is that? The green scale formed on the copper vessel due to the reaction of copper with carbon dioxide, oxygen, and moisture, and converted into the compound that is basic cupric carbonate. Basic cupric carbonate. So this is the composition of one of the ore of copper, that is malachite. So here the pure copper, when it exposed to atmosphere, contains oxygen and moisture along with carbon dioxide, the pure metal converted into compound state. That means it went back to the ore form. So that is malachite. Let's go through another example for corrosion. We noticed that if we open silver metals for atmosphere, so after some time, there is a black layer will form over the surface of the silver. So that is due to the formation of silver sulfide, by reacting with the gases like hydrogen sulfide. So if we look at these examples, when the metal exposed to the corrosive atmosphere which contains moisture, air, or any other corrosive gases, the final result is the metals will lose its strength. So hence it may destroy itself. So then what is the definition for corrosion? Corrosion is defined as the destruction or deterioration of metals or alloys by the surrounding environment which contains oxygen, moisture, and other corrosive gases through chemical reaction or electrochemical reactions. I repeat, corrosion is defined as the destruction or deterioration of metals or alloys by the surrounding environment which contains moisture, air, and other corrosive gases through chemical reactions or electrochemical reactions. Let's go through some of the problems due to corrosion of metals. You can see here every system has corrosion problems. So the corrosion reduces mechanical strength of the metal. Due to that, there is a breakdown of buildings and bridges may occur. So the other problems due to corrosion are the fluids or any liquids which are stored in storage tanks or passed through a pipes, which will get contaminated if that pipes or storage tanks, if it is corroded. So that is another problem. The corrosion of metals, the corrosion in metal objects like equipments, instruments, chemical plant structures, etc. It make them inefficient, ineffective, and finally cause their failure. So if we look at an instrument, you see, if we consider an instrument or any equipment, if any one part of the equipment or instrument get corroded, then the result is the entire instrument may stop working. So that is a big loss. So it is again problem due to corrosion of metals. Corrosion will impair their proper function. It will alter the proper function and also use of the metals. Therefore, corrosion has been referred as cancer to metals. Therefore, the knowledge of corrosion is therefore great importance to scientific community. So, and also, as we know, the most of the iron produced annually, which is just used to replace the corroded metals. So it is very important to know about corrosion. Therefore, the knowledge of corrosion is very important, especially for scientific community. In particular, the engineers who plans, designs, and constructs the final metal products for the use. So this is about problems, some of the problems due to corrosion of metals. So next question is why metals undergo corrosion? As we know, almost all the metals not exist in pure form, exist in compound forms. You can see here hematite, Fe2O3, or any other different ores form or different compound form, malachite, here copper in the compound form, and copper again in different compound form. These are all the ores of different metals. So in all the metals, you can see the metals not in pure state, single element, it is in compound form. So that means except the gold and platinum. Gold and platinum will exist in native form. So, but most of the metals are exist in nature as compounds or ores. That means that metals are comfortable or stable in their compound state. You see, metals are stable in their compound state compared to pure metal state. So here the metals exist in nature in the form of ores with low energy and more stability. But the metals, pure metals extracted from ore by metallurgical extraction process by providing large amount of heat energy. That means by heating at very high temperature. So the pure metals with high energy state are unstable. Hence, these unstable pure metals try to get stability by reacting with the constituents which are present in the atmosphere. So you can see the metals in the compound state ore form by providing heat energy through metallurgical extraction process, we obtain pure metals with unstable state with high energy, and to attain stability, these metals will react with the atmosphere constituents. So this process we called corrosion. Pure metals relatively higher energy state compared to their corresponding ores, they have a natural tendency to go back or revert back to their combined state. Therefore, metals are combining with the constituents of the environment and get converted into their compounds. Ores to metal, metallurgical extraction process, metal to the compounds or respective ores through corrosion process. This is one explanation to attain thermodynamic stability. So other way, if we consider iron, we can explain by other way also. So if we look at the iron, pure iron, it's iron atomic number 26, iron element atomic number 26, and its electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2 2p6, 3s2 3p6, 4s2 3p6. So in outermost orbital electronic configuration, it has 4s2 3d6, but it is not a stable electronic configuration. So to attain stable electronic configuration, so that iron will donate its electrons to other elements. So and finally you can see here, it comes to iron 3 plus state, ferric state, after converting iron to the respective, the ferric oxide, hydrated ferric oxide or rust. In that compound, iron in +3 oxidation state, that means it contains here 23 electrons. So if we write the electronic configuration for this, we get in outermost orbital 4s0 3d5. It is the most stable electronic configuration. So here it is not a stable electronic configuration, but after losing 3 electrons, it get stable electronic configuration. So the iron, why it always try to convert into Fe3 plus state by reacting with the constituents, because to attain stable electronic configuration. This is another way of explanation for why iron undergoes corrosion. So next thing is types of corrosion. The corrosion of metals occur either in dry environment or in aqueous medium or wet environment. Depending upon corrosion medium, corrosion classified into dry corrosion and wet corrosion. Dry corrosion and wet corrosion. So what is dry corrosion? How it occurs? Dry corrosion, that is due to direct attack of metals by dry gases. So here dry corrosion means there is no moisture. Okay. So the direct attack of metal by the dry gases, which are present in the atmosphere, mainly through chemical reactions. Here tin reacts with chlorine gas and it forms stannic chloride. It is a evaporating, a volatile product. Hence it start evaporating and fresh surface will open for atmosphere, and again the destruction occurs. Another example, molybdenum. When it reacts with oxygen, it converted into molybdenum, MoO3. So the attack of oxygen and many corrosive gases such as HCl, H2S, SO2, Cl2, F2, and ammonia, etc., with the metal responsible for dry corrosion. But this type of corrosion is less common in nature. So let's go through the wet corrosion next. Wet corrosion, it is due to attack of metals by moisture and oxygen. Mainly moisture is compulsory, moisture and oxygen, because it's a wet moisture present in the atmosphere. This is through electrochemical reactions. Dry corrosion through chemical reactions, Here wet corrosion through electrochemical reactions. Example, rusting of iron for wet corrosion. So again, that wet corrosion, which are classified into differential metal corrosion or galvanic corrosion, differential aeration corrosion, stress corrosion. So we can discuss this in later. So let's discuss very important theory, that is electrochemical theory of corrosion, by taking iron as an example. How iron undergoes corrosion, that we can explain through electrochemical theory. So as we know, electrochemistry, it's a branch of chemistry which deals with the study of interconversion of energy. That means the conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy, or the electrical energy is used to conduct non-spontaneous chemical reactions. Okay. So here, according to electrochemical theory, when a metal such as iron, when it is exposed to corrosive environment, that means its environment contains both air as well as oxygen as well as moisture, then a large number of small or tiny galvanic cells will be formed. That is due to heterogeneities, that is due to heterogeneities of oxygen and moisture. So the galvanic cells means it is which cells contains both anodic area or anodic region and cathodic regions will be formed. So as I mentioned, that is due to presence of heterogeneities at the interface of the metal and environment. So before going to that discussion, a brief about what is galvanic cells. You can see the Daniell cell we can consider as a galvanic cell. So here, this cell converts chemical energy into electrical energy. So it consists of zinc metal immersed in zinc sulfate and copper metal immersed in copper sulfate. Here, the zinc working as anode and copper working as cathode, that depends on standard electrode potential value of the metals. Here, zinc has lower standard electrode potential, hence it working as anode, and copper with higher standard reduction potential working as cathode. That means the formation of anode and cathode. Once that anode and cathode form, once the circuit is closed, then oxidation reaction occur at anode. That means it will release electrons. That metal will dissolve in solution. The anodic metal will dissolve in solution and releases electron. So that means dissolve means the anodic metal start destroying. Okay. And that released electrons will move towards cathode and available at cathode. And the constituent ions like copper 2 plus in this case will gain that electron and come to copper. The overall thing is, once anodic and cathodic regions are formed, then oxidation and reduction reaction will start. The area at which oxidation occurs, that metal start destroying or destruction. So that is the thing. So similar way here, you can see here the formation of anode and cathode depending on the standard electrode potential value, because here metals are different, that is the criteria. But here we have considered only iron metal. It is a single metal, not different metals. So then even though single metal, why it has formed anode and cathode? There is a reason for that. Those area of iron metal exposed to less oxygen concentration, the area of the metal which is exposed to less oxygen concentration, it working as anode, The area of the iron metal exposed to less oxygen concentration, it is working as anode. In other side, the area of the iron metal which is exposed to more concentration of oxygen, it working as cathodic area or cathode. So what is the criteria here? The area of the metal exposed to less oxygen formed as an anode, and the area of the metal which is exposed to more oxygen formed as cathode. So once this anodic area and cathodic area formed on the metal, so it is just I have shown only one cell, but large number of galvanic cells will be formed on the surface of the metal. So as we know, once it start working as anode, oxidation of iron metal takes place. Iron which undergo at the beginning, and it will lose 2 electrons, and later on again it will lose 1 more electron. We can see it later. The first at anodic region, oxidation reaction occurs, hence iron lose 2 electrons here. That released electrons move towards cathodic region. Here, that surrounding constituents like moisture and oxygen will gain that electron, not iron. Iron will not gain electron because it already lost electron, but that electron will be gained by the surrounding constituents like moisture and oxygen. So you can see the electrons will gained by oxygen and moisture. It will form hydroxyl ions at cathodic region. You can see here iron start losing electron and get converted into Fe2 plus ion. That means dissolution, here destruction. But here the iron will not, it is disturbed. The iron metal is not disturbed. That electron is reacting with only surrounding constituents, not metal. So the cathodic region of the metal is safe. It will not undergo corrosion, but anodic region of the metal will start destruction or corrosion. So you can see the reactions at anodic region. That means the region which exposed to less oxygen concentration, anodic region. You can see here anodic region. At anode, in which the metal atoms are converted into their ions with release of electrons. This reaction is oxidation, hence corrosion takes place at the anodic area. Simultaneously, at cathodic region, the liberated electrons flow from anode to cathodic area and cause reduction. Therefore, the metal is unaffected at the cathodic region. So at cathode, reduction reaction will occur. So there are 2 different cases here. The reduction reaction occur in the presence of oxygen, that is absorption of oxygen, in the presence of oxygen, and also absorption or gaining of electrons or reduction occur through liberation of hydrogen. So reduction reaction occur in the presence of oxygen. Also, reduction reaction occurs even in the absence of oxygen through liberation of hydrogen. Let us go through it. So first case, how reduction reaction occur in presence of oxygen which is surrounded by the metal. The released electron from anodic region of the metal reaches cathodic region and it reacts with the surrounding constituents oxygen and moisture and converted into hydroxyl ions. I already mentioned it. The metal ions, now we observed 2 different ions. One is Fe2 plus positive ion and OH minus negative ion. So the metal ions formed at anode, Fe2 plus, and hydroxyl ion formed at cathodic region start moving towards each other and combine with hydroxide ions formed at the cathode, and finally ferrous hydroxide product formed. Ferrous hydroxide is formed, but here it lost 2 electrons but still it's not attained complete stable electronic configuration, complete stability. If it lose one more electron, then it becomes completely stable. Hence, what that ferrous hydroxide will do, the ferrous hydroxide will further oxidize it to hydrated ferric oxide in the presence of oxygen, excess oxygen and moisture. So to gain stability, again that ferrous hydroxide reacts with oxygen and moisture, and it comes to the hydrated ferric oxide form. Here the valency of iron is +3, so it attains complete stable electronic configuration. That is rust. We will call it as hydrated ferric oxide or rust. Also, it is a composition for hematite ore. This is one case if excess oxygen and moisture available in the surrounding. Suppose if the limited oxygen present in the surrounding, then the ferrous hydroxide reacts with limited oxygen and moisture. Then it forms Fe3O4. That means it is ferroso-ferric oxide. Here, both Fe2 plus as well as Fe3 plus are present in this compound, ferroso-ferric oxide, hydrated ferroso-ferric oxide. It is also called black rust, or we can call it as it is a composition of magnetite, chemical formula of magnetite. So in this way, reduction reaction occur in presence of oxygen. Suppose in absence of oxygen, how reduction reaction occurs? Because electrons released by anodic region, but how that electrons will gain if oxygen absent? So then, if the surrounding medium is acidic, that means it contains excess of H plus ions. That H plus ion ready to gain that electron, and it forms hydrogen gas, and it will evolve. So in this way, that released electron is gained by surrounding hydrogen ions. This is a reduction reaction, gaining of electron. And also other condition. So if the surrounding medium is not acidic, it's a neutral medium. That means it contains moisture. Then also reduction occurs by gaining this electron, and it is converted into hydroxyl ions, and also hydrogen gas will be released. So in this way, reduction occur both in the presence of oxygen, also in the absence of oxygen. So due to this reduction and oxidation reaction, corrosion of metal occur at anodic region of the metal, but not at cathodic region. So these are the reference materials I have used. You can also go through it. Let's go through some of the multiple choice questions covered under this topic. Question number 1. Examples for corrosion are option A, rusting of iron, option B, green scales formed on the copper vessels, option C, black layer formed on silver objects, option D, all the above. So as we discussed, all three we can consider for an example for corrosion. Hence the right answer is option D. Question number 2. Constituents which are responsible for corrosion are option A, moisture, option B, air, option C, both, option A and B, option D, nitrogen. So as we know, both air and moisture, or oxygen and moisture, are responsible for, they are important constituents responsible for corrosion. Hence the right answer is option C. Question number 3. Most of the metals undergo corrosion because option A, metals are stable in compound state than pure state. Option B, metals are stable in pure state than compound state. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of the above. So metals are stable in compound state than pure state. That's the reason that pure metal will react with constituents. If the pure metals itself stable, then that will not react. That will stay like gold and platinum. Okay. So hence the right answer is option B. Option A. That is, metals are stable in compound state than pure state. Question number 4. The tin, when reacts with chlorine gas, dry chlorine gas, it forms tannic chloride. It is an example for option A, wet corrosion, option B, dry corrosion, option C, stress corrosion, option D, galvanic corrosion. So that tin reacts with dry chlorine, hence there is no moisture here. So it is an example for dry corrosion. Right answer, option B. Question number 5. In electrochemical theory, the area of the iron metal exposed to less oxygen concentration behaves as option A, cathode, option B, anode, option C, both A and B, option D, none of the above. So as we discussed electrochemical theory of corrosion of iron metal, the area of iron exposed to less oxygen concentration behaves as anode. So the right answer is option B. So I will stop this session 1 here. I will continue the remaining syllabus of module 2 in next videos. Thank you.